excuse me, we seem to be getting better at this every month. So that's good. Pam, you want to go through the complaint list then, so we'll get this out of the way for you?
Sure. Pamela Brown, Department of Consumer Protection, Director of Investigations. Janita Hamill will be reporting out on our complaint report. We appreciate you taking us ahead of time. Normally we're in the building, we can actually pop down and figure out where we need to go in your meeting, where we need to insert ourselves in your meeting, but I think it's best for us to do it here in the beginning, so I appreciate it. Janita, do you have the report?
Yes, I do. Good morning. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Want me to, excuse me, Janita, did you want me to share the report if I can get to it?
You sent it to everybody, right?
I did, yeah, so they should have it.
Yeah. Basically, the report that I ran is the same that I've done for all my boards. I went from January 1st, 2020 to May 31st, 2020. The last reporting that I did with the quarters. There are 6 engineering cases that were closed during that time frame, and 3 new ones came in. One of the complaints is a duplicate and was closed as such. That's basically what I have. If anybody has any concerns or questions.
No questions from me. I think it's nice that there's a couple of them here where the evidence did not support the allegation. I would think that that's more frequent than not.
It depends. Sometimes it doesn't support the allegations made. Sometimes it's about money. Sometimes it's, in one of the cases, the consumer changed her mind and changed the drawings without addendums and was fighting with the different people on that matter. But sometimes there are issues that are part of a report that goes to legal, and then we wait for legal to present it to you.
So when you have the comment that evidence did not support the allegation, who makes that? The legal aspect or just a conversation between the two parties?
That when it is indicated that the evidence, the support does not support the allegation, those are the resolution notes and comments from the investigator that investigated the matter.
Okay.
So they are the ones, the investigator, in this case, my investigator that does most of my professional side is Keith Lombardi. And Mr. Lombardi reviews the complaint allegations and the written responses from the respondent to the matter.
Okay.
And then he and I will have a
Any other questions,
conversation.
anybody? Hearing none. Pamela and Janita, we thank you.
Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Have a good day.
You too, sir.
Well, we have everybody's attention. Why don't we call the roll just for the record here. We have John DeWolf.
Here.
Richard Swezak is traveling back, but he sent in all of his reviews. Rob Lewandowski.
Here.
DeAndre here. We're waiting on Bob Doan, I guess. Al Regina.
Here.
And Ken Peterson.
Here.
And Curtis Smith.
Here.
And Ray Redness.
Here.
Good to see the surveyors, huh? And now, while I have their attention, we could do the minutes from last meeting of June 16th.
I recommend approval.
Put it for a vote. Is anybody?
I'll second
Make
it.
a motion. Who is that?
I'll second it.
All those in favor of the motion to approve the minutes as submitted from June 16th, say aye.
Aye.
Hearing none. I mean, any, I got ahead of myself. Any opposition? Hearing none, that motion carries to approve the minutes from June 16th, which was a fairly light agenda. Moving into our regular agenda, we have numerous applicants for a variety of classes, but I think that we'll continue with our process of dealing with the surveying issues first, which are initially shown on page 5 of our regular agenda. We had Mr. Jerry Marr for Class 6 Credit Part 1.
Motion to approve.
Yeah, I'd second that.
Thank you, Curtis and Ray. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. And then there were 2 applicants for Class 8 exam, Jonathan Stabe and Matthew Webb.
Motion to approve both.
I second that.
Was that Curtis and Ked?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was the verification of exams from New Jersey? They took the national exam in New Jersey. Is that the idea?
Yeah, I just need verification for it, but because we're running on a time limit here,
Oh, this
A lot of
verification.
correct. Yeah,
Okay.
that he actually sat for that portion of the exam.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion to approve Stabe and Webb for Class 8 exam, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Then I believe I recall in our supplemental agenda, we had one more item for Class 6 exam credit Part 1 for Kevin Flowers.
You got a Class 6 also, Matthew Dunn.
Right.
2. Yeah, you want to do Flowers first?
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed Dunn. You're right. Well, I took Flowers, so is that your motion, Curtis?
Yep, motion for approval of Flowers.
Okay, thank you. Ray,
Yeah.
any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. I did have my finger over Dunn, Curtis, so we'll go back to Mr. Dunn now for Class 6 license.
I had a problem with Dunn. He's a good engineer. He's got great recommendations and as an engineer, but he only shows the 3 years and 4 months of experience, and he's got a BSCE and a master's, but they're in engineering. Interestingly, going through his curriculum for all his degrees, he hasn't taken one surveying course at all, nothing to do with surveying. And he needs to show 4 years in order to qualify with a civil engineering degree. Minimum experience under Class 6 is 4 years, and that would consist of 1 year party chief minimum and 3 years supervisory. And he's only listing 3 years and 4 months. So before we get into it, I think he's lacking in experience.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion?
Yes.
I second that.
So I guess my motion would be for denial pending receipt of additional. He has to either. How do you usually handle it, Barbara? Reapply in a year, or he's going to have to, I guess.
If he's missing, like, say, 6 months or so, we can just update that experience. If it's over a year, then he'd have to reapply.
Well, he's got 3 years and 4 months, so that's eight months.
8 months more. Right.
We could still have him just update his time until the next exam, so that would be appropriate.
So, right.
All right. So is this be a denial then, and we have to revisit it?
It's a denial, and then once he updates the information, then it would be brought back to the board to see the information.
All right, then my motion is for denial due to lack of experience.
Right.
Second by Ray.
Sure. Agree 100%.
Okay, all those in favor of the motion to deny Matthew Dunn for Class 6 license due to the lack of experience, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. So Barbara would advise them that it was denied due to lack of experience and would be reconsidered upon updating the application.
Right.
Okay, Barbara?
Yep, I got it.
Okay, thank you. We did not have
You get an application for corporate practice too.
corporate. I missed that. Let's see where we are.
Yeah, Mylone and McBroom. They've got 2 applications, I guess.
What happened with them is they held a joint practice, because I'm sure you've heard of them, they've been around for a while.
Sure.
But I guess their land surveyor ended up retiring, and they at this time can't meet that 2/3 ownership, so they had to apply separately at this time.
Well,
So that's the reason.
the application they submitted for the corporate practice for surveying doesn't include a breakdown of the percentage of ownership.
Exactly.
Have you reviewed
They
it?
don't have to, that because they're general business.
Right. So they're just a
They're
straight
an
land
INC.
surveying. Right. They don't need to prove ownership, but you do have to have a licensed individual designated, that's all.
Correct.
Yeah.
So they don't need 2/3 ownership for a general business corporation.
Correct.
That's still a flaw in the whole appointment here.
Yeah, never change that one.
That's not bad. I mean, the guy that makes donuts can own an engineering company. That's absurd.
But you have to expand this. We've had this discussion numerous times about the analogy to Bechtel or ASP or whatever, a large corporate entity. You can't have designation of ownership. You'd have to go look in your stock portfolio, Ray, and see what you have.
Yeah, I guess. I understand it. I don't have to like it.
It just doesn't make sense.
Right.
But it makes sense from the size of the corporate entity.
Yeah.
All right. So do we have a motion to approve Malone and McBroom, Inc. for the corporate practice of land surveying with Mr.
I'll make
Michael
that.
Mansfield being designated as the LS?
I'll make that motion. This is Ken.
Thank you, Ken. Second?
Come
on, Ray.
You want to shoot for it, Kurt?
Go ahead, Ray.
Rock, paper, scissors? No,
What's going on?
I'll second it. Go ahead.
It's going on the record that Ray Redness seconded that with enthusiasm. No. Reluctantly.
Asterisk.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion to approve Malone and McBroom, Inc. for the corporate practice of land surveying, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. So I think that is the last piece of land surveying business. We had only one bit of correspondence, which was, no, actually, we didn't have any correspondence. Agree, Barbara? We didn't have any correspondence. It came in so many pieces, I couldn't tell. All right. If you guys want to hang around and listen to the engineers squabble about a couple of applications, you're welcome to. Otherwise, thank you for your time.
I think I'll sign off. Thank you. Everybody have a good day.
Thanks, Curtis.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
All right, thanks, folks. Have a good one. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yes.
stay healthy, stay healthy.
Everybody.
Take care.
All right, thank you, guys. So we can move into our regular agenda, which was,
Excuse me, Tony. Bob's phone couldn't get in, but he's on my phone on speaker, so hopefully he'll be able to give his recommendations once we get to his name. He couldn't get in. He's at the Cape right now.
okay.
Okay?
I'm not so sure exactly what you said. I think you said he's gonna do them verbally, or you got him?
I got him on the phone.
Oh, okay. Well, not to keep him on the phone, we can jump around, but,
Okay.
all right, well, let's just go through the agenda. We got Class 1 exam, credit part 1, John DeWolf reviewed Abbott through Stefan.
Is Harvey Mudd a valid engineering school?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
What was the school? What was it?
that was one question, and I will move that Hain be denied for lack of 2 years of experience. And the reason is he got a PhD in May of 2019. Everything up to that point was basically education except for 3 months in the summer after his BS degree. So he has the 3 months plus the experience since May of 2019. It does not come to 2 years. So therefore, I recommend that it be denied at this time until he has 2 years experience.
Okay, There's a second to that motion to deny Mr. Alexandra or Miss Alexandra Hayes due to lack of experience following the degree. Is there a
I'll
second?
second it, Tony.
Thank you, Rob. All those in favor of the motion to deny due to lack of experience following the degree, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries.
Okay, then I move that Abbott, Ditz, I guess it is, Mancini, and Stefan be approved.
Is there a second?
Second it.
Who was, I'm sorry.
Rob.
Hey, Rob, I gotta look up and see him at the same time. I can't hear so good. But all those in favor of the motion to approve Abbott, Diddy's, Mancini, and Stefan for Class 1 Credit Part 1, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. I reviewed the next group. Amaroni, Busada Di Palermo, Lindquist, McDyer, Parisi, Rahman, and Weldon. Found them all to be qualified to sit for the exam with the EIT. So it's my recommendation to approve. Is there someone who will move my recommendation?
So move.
Thank you,
John
John.
Wolf.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Al.
Poor Bob, no one can hear him.
Was that Mr. Doan saying aye?
Yeah, he's trying to get in there.
Barbara, if Bob says yes or aye, you put your thumb up and we'll know that he voted.
Okay, I'll do that.
Because otherwise we can't hear.
He's
Anyway,
trying
it's
to
been moved and seconded.
so.
All those in favor of the motion to approve Amaroni through Weldon for Class 1 exam credit part 1, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries.
No problem.
Does anybody have an opinion or a recommendation, a motion to approve or deny Stephen Hayduck? This involved a need for review of the transcript.
I
would
reviewed
rely
it.
on Mr. DeWolf for that, but
I reviewed it, and I have a problem with it. He has a associate degree from May 2012 from a community college in construction and architectural technology, and then he has a BS in CE technology. When we looked at it, we didn't have his courses, and the only courses I have in the application that I reviewed are from the associate's degree. I don't see the courses from the following. And
I did send another email with the full transcript because Bob had noticed I didn't do the whole transcript.
Well, I didn't. So did somebody else look at it?
Okay, one moment. I think Bob Doan is trying to say something now. Can you hear him? Go ahead, Bob.
On the official 2 pages, it comes up with a total of 56 engineering. So I think he makes it up in the next 2 years.
Okay.
All right. He has a total of 14 years in it. Transportation engineering, stormwater management, water and wastewater, structural analysis, foundation engineering, hydraulics lab, surveying lab. Hold on just a sec, there's 4 more. Structural design, reinforced concrete, principles of dynamics, the water and wastewater treatment, and a CET capstone course. So I think that 2 years, John, makes up for the degree, and it's really not a technical degree. So I think he has enough experience.
But does he have to have the experience based on a technology degree or a regular bachelor's degree?
Well, that's why we asked for the transcript to see if it was actually a
Yeah.
technology degree or a BS. And I think the transcript demonstrates that it's a 4-year degree.
Okay. It sounds like it from the courses you listed. So do you want to make the motion?
John, before you do, Bob, Barbara, I only have 2 pages. Is it the Rochester Institute of Technology?
It's Rochester, but I sent another email they gave you all the full transcript because Bob noticed I was missing the 2 pages.
Oh, I missed those last.
I did send an email to all the PE members and also to Al showing you the transcript. I did miss the other 2 pages.
The first 2 pages have a ton of withdrawals and D's and F's. So I'm assuming the next 2 pages, he actually completed the courses?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
When did you send the email, Barbara?
I can't remember when Bob started reviewing the apps, because you told me to have it last week.
I just found it.
It was last Friday.
So, John, take a quick look at the page 2 and page 3 and 4.
Yeah, it looks okay to me. I see all the withdrawals and everything, but he did come back and do the courses. So I would agree it's a 4-year degree, regular 4-year degree.
I agree with you, John, and I'll make a motion to approve it.
And I'll second.
All right, thank you. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion to approve Stephen Haydock based on the review of the transcript from the technology degree, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thumbs up for me, Barbara.
Okay, got it. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Rob Lewandowski reviewed the next group of applicants for Class 4 license. Azulay through Salati on page 4 of our regular agenda.
Yeah, I reviewed all those applicants and just looking down my list, all straightforward applications, all model law, all good experience, no problems with the degrees. Again, all straightforward. I would recommend approval.
Second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Al.
Yep.
Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion to approve Azulay through Salati on page 4 for Class 4 license, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. John DeWolf reviewed Gebernick through Shaw on page 4. For Class
Okay.
4.
Joseph Hull has a BS in engineering technology, which was not accredited. It was in May 2003, but he has 18 years experience, so I think it's okay. So I'm going to move approval of all 5.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Rob. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries, and I saw 1 thumbs up. The next group I reviewed for Mr. Timothy Kleckner for Class 4. He has a BS from Wisconsin, a master's from Wisconsin in 05. He's a structural engineer, and he's registered in Wisconsin through the end of this month. So we should approve him today would be my recommendation for a motion. Is there a motion to accept my recommendation?
Moved. I'll
Thank
make
you,
the
John.
motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Rob. All those in favor of the motion to approve Timothy Kleckner for Class 4 reciprocity, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. And Mr. Doan reviewed Coates, Vasco, and Wood for Class 4. Can you get him, Barb?
You're on mute, Barb. You're on mute,
Who is? Me?
Barbara.
Barbara's on mute.
Oh,
My elbow just hit one of the buttons there. Go.
so we have Coates, Vasco, and Wood for Bob Doan. Did he make the motion of approval?
Speak now, I think.
Okay, Tony?
Yeah.
Scott Cisco has a bachelor in geology and geophysics and a bachelor's in geological engineering. He has a master's in civil and environmental engineering. But he is considered a model law engineer. So I'm going to assume that the bachelor's in geological engineering qualifies him for a 4-year degree. And the only other comment is that Barbara, if you could verify a current license,
Yes.
and then I'll make a motion to approve all 3.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Who was seconding, Al?
Al,
The only discussion I have is that I thought at first you said theology, and that was a little bit concerning, but on second go-round, geology made more sense. All those in favor of the motion to approve Coates, Vasco, and Wood, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Okay.
Hearing none, that motion carries. Then we move down to our regular agenda items for Class 9 licensees for Adzit through Zering on page 5. Is there a motion to approve those licenses?
So move.
Thank you, John. Second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Rob. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed?
did I miss something on Mina here?
Yeah.
What was that?
Joseph A. Mina.
Okay, you're right. Thank you for checking that. Mr. Schwezak did that. I have that one highlighted in pink and I forgot to call it. Thank you. Mr. Joseph Mina for Class 4 reciprocity reviewed by Richard Schwezak, who is in transit. So he sent in an email that he had reviewed the application and he is in favor of approving Mr. Joseph Mina for Class 4. Is there a motion to accept his recommendation?
So move.
Thank you, John.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Rob. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Right. Then we're going to move over to page 6 for the review of the corporate practice of engineering by Bob Doan for 4 applicants.
Okay. I make a motion to approve all 4 for TDE Engineering PC, Barbara. I did not see a state of Secretary of the State certification.
I may have missed that on you, so it is here, and it does say exactly, it matches the name that's on the application.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay, I make a motion to approve all 4.
So a second?
Second.
Thank you, John. Any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion to approve CMA Engineers, Inc., Precision Engineering Group, LLC, PVE Engineering, PC, and YA Engineering, PLLC. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Bob, while you're on the phone, Mr. Noble, Alexander Noble, for reinstatement, continuously licensed in another state. You recommend reinstatement?
Yes, I do.
Is there a second? Thank you, Al. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries.
We missed Mylone and McBroom, Barbara.
Yeah. Mylone and McBroom.
Did I miss it again? Oh,
Yeah, that's
you're right.
engineering.
No, you're right. Richard, I have it marked down that Richard reviewed it and recommended approval for the corporate practice of engineering. Is there a motion to accept his recommendation?
I'll make it.
Thank you, Rob. Is there a second?
Second from Bob.
Okay. Thank you, Bob. All those in favor of the motion to approve Malone and McBroom for the corporate practice of engineering, in which case they also designated PEs who are currently licensed and in responsible charge. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries.
And Richard Squeezak should have had two more
He did.
statements? Okay.
He has John Lyons and Stuart White. He recommends both of them for reinstatement, continuously licensed in another state, not signed or sealed any other engineering documents. In Connecticut, anyway. Is there a motion to accept Richard's recommendation?
I'll move it.
Thank you, John.
I'll second it.
Thanks, Al. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. I believe that completes our regular agenda. And we move back to our supplemental agenda, which leaves us with,
You did not. No, I wasn't sure. Bob was asking, yeah, Bob was asking if there was anything for him on the supplemental, which he did not have anything.
No. So what's left there is the Class 1 credit card exam for Franco, Leclerc, Olivito, Onat, and Ribeiro, reviewed by John DeWolf.
Okay, Franco, I am really unhappy with the way he did his experience. Somehow since 2015, he has 6 years experience. And I tried to make it out, and then there's somewhere it's 4 years and 4 months. It's just not well done. Is this urgent that we do it today?
Well, we have one more board meeting. He did update his experience, and that's probably where the confusion was when he initially applied. And then he sent us updated experience. But if you want him to redo the whole thing, we can have him do it for the next board meeting.
No, I
we have
don't
one
want to
more
make
meeting.
it harder for you. And then I will move the first 4, Franco, Leclerc, Oliveto, and Onat.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
Thanks, Rob. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries, which leaves us Christopher Ribeiro.
Ribeiro doesn't seem to have an EIT. So I'm going to move approval to take both exams.
I thought he had one from New York, but I'll verify that. I thought
Okay,
I
well,
had it.
if I move to take both exams, then yeah, that will be automatic.
Correct, yes,
Okay.
no problem.
So it's been moved to approve Christopher Ribeiro, subject to verification of EIT. If not, he's approved to take both parts. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
Thanks, Dal. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. So that's subject to verification of EIT. I reviewed the next group, Calitri, Dijon, and Macker, for Class 1 Credit Part 1. All properly completed the education requirements and the experience. So is there a motion to accept my recommendation? We had 2 structural engineers out of that group.
So move.
Thank you, John. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thanks, Al. All those in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Rob Lewandowski reviewed Giron and Nelson for Class 1 Credit Part 1.
I'm trying to look at Nelson's experience. He was a little messy too. And I had written down that he only had 3 years, 11 months experience. But then when I just flipped the second page, it says 4 years, 11 months. Um, 216 to 516. Oh, he has time as an intern. All right, hold on. Let me just do some math here on when he graduated. So he graduated in 2016, and he has 3 years, 11 months experience after graduation. So he's a little bit shy, I guess, by a month. I think it was, so if we're okay with the 1 month, I don't know when he's actually
I had
taking.
one of those. I had one of those that I just assumed it was okay.
Yeah. His second page says 4 years, 11 months, but he's counting internship time prior to graduation towards his experience. So that's no good. So yeah, it's based on the 3 years, 11 months. So with that said, a good degree, good references. Well, both these, Wilbur and Williams, good degrees, good references, both have EITs, both have the 4 years of experience. So I'd recommend approval on both of them.
Second.
Thank you, John. All those in favor of the motion to approve Giron and Nelson for Class 1 Credit Part 1, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. And our last 4 applicants for Class 4 reciprocity are Bealby, Bruska, and Pickel. Reviewed by Rob Lewandowski.
Yeah, I reviewed all 3 of them. Bilby and Bruce are model law, good degree, good experience, straightforward. Pickel is not a model law, but University of Michigan, BS, MS degrees, plenty of experience. He's not a model law because he had a felony. He explained his felony as a drunken drive-in homicide, unfortunately. Barbara, you said CHRO reviewed that and had no bearing on his, let's say, approval. That was quite a few years ago.
Correct. Anytime there's a felony that they mark on an application, it goes to our department, which is the review, to make sure again that they check all the documents, and if they find it's no bearing on the license, and they say that it's okay, and they clear it.
So he's got 24 years of experience. It looks like this felony happened early in his career, 20 plus years ago. So therefore he's not a model law. Otherwise he would be a model law. So I recommend approval of all 3.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thanks, Al. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. And that, I believe, I reviewed the last 3 applicants for the corporate practice of engineering. We had one of each, an LLC, a PC, and an Inc. I reviewed them all against our matrix and found them all to be compliant. Is there a motion to accept my recommendation?
So move.
Thank you, John.
I'll second.
Thanks, Al. Who was that, Rob? I can't hear.
Rob.
Anyway, Rob, thank you. All those in favor of the motion to approve Amadou Engineering Solutions LLC Biohabitats of Connecticut PC and NCI Group Inc. with a corporate practice of engineering, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. And unless I missed one, I think that completes our 2 agendas. Barbara, when's our next meeting? August what?
11. Yeah, we did the minutes. You missed it.
Did you have any corrections or suggestions that we missed, Bob?
He's,
No, not at all. They're perfect as usual.
oh, please.
Barbara, when did you say the next meeting is?
August 11th.
I have it in as the 24th. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think that was the original one, and then we had to change it because August 20th is the deadline date to register for the October exam. So it had to
Okay.
get changed. So it's been moved to August 11th.
I just changed my calendar. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, Al, do your thing.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Rob. Thank you all. I'm glad we got it done. We're getting good at this system, Barbara.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. This was much better than the first time.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there.
All right.
It's a lot of coordination sometimes, but we'll get it.
Thanks
All
for
right.
everybody's cooperation and have a good day. What's left of it. Stay cool and healthy.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Enjoy
Same
your
to you.
summer.
Take care,
Thanks,
everybody.
everybody. So long.
Okay.
Okay. You're welcome. Anytime. Hey, enjoy your vacation. Okay. All right. All right. Take care.
Yep. Bye.